So with us in studio, Daniel Ramos, and good morning to you, Daniel. 34-year-old, born here. Your parents are from the Dominican Republic. You live in Queens, New York.
Yeah.
How did you know it was him?
Well, basically, he used to come to the store a lot before any of this happened. He used to come to the store. We would chit-chat with him. He would buy stuff from the store. And, you know, we didn't really think anything of him. Just a normal, regular guy, you know, with problems. He'll tell us about his problems, family problems that he has in Ecuador, like drug habits and all that. But after we knew it was him, when he first came, he was there buying something, then he left, and then that's when the picture came up. And that's when we knew it was him, and we put two and two together, and we all started planning out how we was gonna catch him.
And that's when you showed up at the deli, and your plan was to wait until he hopefully arrived so that you could then do what? How did you stop him from getting away?
Well, first of all, it was my friends that was there. First of all, they was the ones waiting for him to come back. I was actually at work when I got the picture and everything. They told me who it was, and then when I seen it was him, I even wanted to get out of work early, but I finished my shift at work, and then as soon as I left from work, I went straight over there. And when I got there, maybe like 20 minutes after I got there, he came. And that's
so you were there around, what, midnight, I would imagine?
Like around midnight, yeah. He came like around like 12 something, almost 1 o'clock. I got there exactly at 12, no, like 12:10 around there.
You apprehended him around 12:30 at night, correct?
Yeah,
from what I recall?
Yeah, when he came to the store, my friend Jeffrey and Angela, they both came in. They saw him when he went to the store. They're the ones that took him out the store. They tried to apprehend him in the store, and then we just caught him outside.
Daniel, how many were you at the
I'm gonna say like 10 of us.
10 of you?
Yeah.
And did he put up a fight, or did he say anything?
He knew better not to put up a fight. He couldn't really put up a fight because he was outnumbered, and it probably would have went worse if he did. It was better that he didn't. And he was just trying to cop a plea, like trying to say, you know, let me explain. I could explain. At first, he's trying to say he didn't care what he did, and then he tried to say, let me explain, but we wasn't trying to hear any of it. And there was nothing really to explain. What he did was horrible. And he did that to a 13-year-old innocent little girl, so we don't condone that, not from where I'm at.
There are so many neighbors who say they're shocked. They can't believe this is happening where they live. What has it been like for you and for your family?
I got 2 daughters, so I don't play that when it comes to, like, you know, kids in general, especially you doing something like that to kids, innocent kids. It's not, you know, it's sick for somebody to even do that. And to know that he has a daughter of his own, it's even more sick, because it's like, I don't play that. I got 2 daughters. And everybody in the community is pretty happy that we did that, because, you know, around there's a lot of things going on, so they feel now more safe. At first, they looked at us like, you know, we was, they try to say, you know, people in front of a store are troublemakers and stuff like that, but you know, we're not about that. We just trying to keep the community safe.
Good for you.
Yeah.
The police are giving you a lot of props, and so too is the DA from Queens. Her name is Melinda Katz, and this is how she was talking about what you did.
What did you think of the response of the community playing a role in getting apprehended?
This was an amazing citywide manhunt for this individual who allegedly raped a 13-year-old girl and kidnapped both the 13-year-old girl and the 13-year-old boy. I am thankful that the community responded.
You know, this whole incident sends a message to the rest of the country. You know, you took action.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, maybe he is still out on the street.
Still out in the streets, probably committing more crime. Who knows? Probably, you know, traumatizing more kids. But I'm glad that we got him off the streets. I could get more people like him off the streets, I would.
Yeah, there was a sickening detail that emerged yesterday. Apparently, he told police that he recorded it.
Yeah, I didn't know that part.
Did you know about that?
I didn't know that part, which is even more like, it's crazy that he even did that. I didn't know he even recorded it.
Could I ask you just a final question on the bigger picture, and that is this growing migrant crisis and how this is a huge problem. We have had an influx here in New York City. We're running out of places for these migrants to go. They're all over. And it's an example of how this has stretched far beyond the southern border. How do you feel about it? How has it impacted your life and your community?
Well, to be honest, where I work with migrants. So, you know, I work in a shelter. I work for Bragg's Alliance, and I work with a lot of migrants, and not all of them are like that. There's some of them that actually want to do the right things and stuff, but the ones that's not doing the right things, that's out there committing crime, it's just not right that they come here to do that. For all of that, they should have just stood in their country and just did that over there. But the ones that's out here trying to do the right thing for their families, you know, they're not bad. They're not bad people, but you know, you got those that make them look bad. So it's just...
Daniel, good luck to you. Thanks
you.
for sharing your story.
Appreciate you.
Who gets the money?
I don't know. I mean, we'll all split it up if anything, but I didn't do it for the money. I just did it more for justice for her.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
You're welcome.
Real pleasure meeting you. Good luck to
Likewise.
you and your daughters, okay?
Likewise.
Yeah, thank
Our best
you.
to your family and your community.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.